Hi everyone, today I will be doing a review, a perfume rotation of all the fragrances that I've used this week. So for this week, I have tested out this fragrance, Angel Fruity Fair. It's an eau de toilette, and as usual, the bottle looks like this, like the original Angel. I was really excited when I got the sample. I wanted to try it out because for the original Angel wasn't really for me. It was super heavy on the patchouli on me, and I couldn't really get the chocolate note that everyone was talking about. So I got my hands on this sample, hoping that I would like this version of Angel. However, when I got this Angel Fruity Fair, it lets me down because it's really a fragrance which is like a patchouli bomb. The fruity element here does not exist until many hours later, and the patchouli really takes the center stage. If you are not a great fan of patchouli, the earthy, dirty soil patchouli, I don't think you should go for this one. I think this is quite deceptive. I mean, I was thinking that this version would be more fruity and sweeter, but obviously all the creaminess and all the fruitiness in listed on Fragrantica just does not appear on my skin. It's really a bomb of patchouli. So that's all for me for this one. Next one, the one that I want to talk about is Juicy Couture by Juicy Couture. So this one is Juicy Couture EDP. So I got a decant of this because I wasn't sure if I would like tuberose back then. And now for this, I don't know why, for the past few years I wasn't really a big fan of tuberose. But now I'm craving for tuberose because I think that if tuberose is used in gourmand fragrances, it can really take the fragrance into another level. It's not a boring gourmand, but it's something interesting, something a little bit daring. So I really like this one, Juicy Couture, but it can only be applied with a careful hand. I think this fragrance, I cannot overspray it, or else it will be, the whole thing would turn very messy. It's tuberose mixed with caramel. I don't really get the caramel. It's more like a sweetened tuberose, which I really like and I really enjoy because this fragrance is not a linear fragrance. It would turn into a gourmand, floral, with time. So I think this is a really interesting bottle. Interesting fragrance. I'm really tempted to buy a full size bottle, but I would see if I have finished this decant, then I would consider. I think if you are, if you are people like me who didn't like tuberose, but after a few years, you would be thinking, you would be wondering if you should start trying tuberose. I think this one is a very good one to go to for normal events, for day-to-day event. I think this one is a very great tuberose fragrance. So the next one I want to talk about is another tuberose fragrance, which is a new release, Givenchy L'Interdit. I don't really know how to pronounce it. For this fragrance, it is also a tuberose scented fragrance, but with vetiver and also pear. Other than tuberose, I think the other star of the show would be the white floral, which is orange blossom. I really love orange blossom and tuberose in here. I really like this fragrance because from this bottle I can smell, it's like a very sweet, and not overly sweet, but it's very different, a little bit dark, a little bit mysterious kind of sweetness coming out from here. I think that would be from the vetiver mixed well with the patchouli and the pear and mixed together with the tuberose. However, when I apply this on my skin, the projection just isn't that good as compared to what I smell from the bottle. I think, very funny, when I smell straight from the bottle, the tuberose and everything dark and sweet and mysterious just comes out, and on me it just falls flat, which is quite a shame. But I really like this fragrance and I would try it again and again. So this fragrance is really special for me. It's really special because it's not the green tuberose. It's very dark. It's a little bit of sweet with a little bit of cacao there, and with, I don't know if there's cacao listed. I don't think so, but seems like there's a little bit of grainy texture with the pear in it. So it really takes this fragrance, the tuberose in here, to another level. I really recommend for you to try if you want something modern, something like a modern type of tuberose. The next fragrance that I used this week also included Chocolate Gritty by Montal Paris. So you can see my reflection here, sorry. So this Chocolate Gritty, this is a fragrance that has come out a few years ago, which is 2007. So this bottle I had it quite some time. So this bottle is really special chocolate. If you look at the notes listed on Fragrantica, it is cacao instead of chocolate. It's cacao, tonka bean, coffee, a little bit of orange. So for me, this one is like a bar of chocolate, a very hard chocolate that you have just taken out from the refrigerator and you bite it. It's cool in your mouth. The chocolate is still very solid. It's not melting at all. But at the same time, you can sniff the sweet scent of chocolate from the foil, from the wrapping foil paper. So I think this one is a very great fragrance. If you are a fan of sweet fragrance, that you should really get your nose on it, because this is amazing longevity, and I think this performs quite well. It was quite hot that day. I don't think so that I should wear it that often since the weather is really, really, really hot. But I really enjoy it. I cannot resist the temptation of wearing it. I would really recommend it if you like sweet chocolate. It's not the too decaying sweet, it's like a very matured, it's cacao, it's, icy cold chocolate straight from the refrigerator. When you bite it, that's the quality of this fragrance. It's not sticky, but because it's still solid. It's like a solid hot chocolate, and it's when you smell the wrapping, and with the chocolate inside, with the good quality chocolate inside, that's how luxurious this fragrance is. Next one I want to talk about is a fragrance by Jean Paul Gaultier. It's a new release, I think. I think it's quite new, but it's not the latest. So this one is Jean Paul Gaultier Classique Cabaret. So now this fragrance, what I want to talk about this fragrance is that the first time I tried it, the ginger note in here really struck as very bitter, very medicinal, herbal, and also a bit powdery. But the interesting thing is, the second time I try it, it is not as powdery as the first time I tried it. It seems like during the second time I put it on, the powderiness is toned down a bit, while as time goes on, the vanilla really comes out from this fragrance. So it really mixes well. The vanilla mixed together with the orange blossom and with the ginger a little bit at the, hinting at the background. This is a very mature kind of sweetness. It's a mature kind of sweetness. It's not a candy-ish sweetness. It's vanilla mixed with orange blossom with a little bit of herbal and with a little bit of greenery note from the ginger. So it's quite interesting, and I really like it because it has all the elements that I enjoy. The sweetness, but it's not oversweet. The freshness from the orange blossom, and also the a little bit of herbal quality, I think, from the ginger. So I think this one is worth a try if you like moderately sweet and a little bit floral fragrance. It's not like a bouquet of white flower or anything. It's just, it is toned down. The white floral harshness is toned down a little bit by the creamy vanilla note. So I think this one is a good release. However, the projection of this one seems to be not that good, because it only lasted about 4 or 5 hours on my skin, considering that it is not an eau de toilette, it is indeed an EDP. So I like this one. It's just that the projection and the longevity isn't really up to my expectations. The next one I want to talk about is a lotion. So this is a lotion that I use, the Lolita and Pica lotion that I put on sometimes when I'm craving for, sweet, licorice, dark, mysterious note. I like the fragrance Lolita and Pica, but sometimes I just can't keep spraying on fragrances, so I just use this lotion. It's a very interesting note. I can even smell it before I put it on. So I think I would repurchase this lotions once I run out of it. The next fragrance that I want to talk about is from the house of Alexandria Fragrances, and it is Sweet Revenge. So this house is like a dupe house. Yes. And I don't know what Sweet Revenge is supposed to be a dupe of. I think I read it on Fragrantica. Some people say that it has a little bit of similarity to Henri Hop, Vanille. I can't remember which one is that, but it has a little bit of similarity to the Guerlain Spiritual Double Vanille. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but if this one, I would say that this has a little bit of similarity to the Annick Goutal Nuit et Confidences that I talked about in my previous video, which I really like. So this one is also as sweet as that. It's just that it lacks a little bit of classiness of and elegance of the dark cacao, I think. This one is like a sugary, buttery, a little bit salty caramel scent, and it lasts really long. The one thing that I like about this fragrance house is that it has good longevity. No matter whatever fragrance I bought from this house, it lasted. So I like this one a lot. I think I will wear it more often because it seemed to be more wearable than the chocolate grady in hot weather because of the toned down caramel, and not as loud, but it's sweet enough for me to satisfy my craving for sweetness and for of caramel, and also a little bit of sugar buttery. It's I don't know why I find it a little bit tart. I don't it's not listed there of any berry note, but there is a little bit of tart note in here, which makes it quite different from the other sweet fragrances that I have, and it's a little bit woozy. So this is what is special about this scent. The next one I want to talk about is also from the Jean Paul Gaultier line, the classique line, which is Classique Intense. I think I've talked about this in my previous video. Sorry, I couldn't take it out from the box. I think I've talked about it in my previous video, in my previous perfume rotation. I just couldn't get enough of this. It's a syrupy orange blossom mixed with a little bit of creaminess, and also the cream and also the orange blossom, and with a little bit of, I think, ginger. But the ginger in here is really toned down. What is really the star of the show is the orange blossom. It's syrupy. It is almost feel like, orange blossom is made into some kind of honey. And it has that kind of thick syrupiness in it. So it's Jumbo Gautier Classique Intense. And this one really has a very good longevity and also lasting power. The projection is quite decent as compared to the Cabarete one. So when I want to smell myself and I want others to smell it, and I want to see large, and I want the air to be filled with my fragrance, then I would wear this one instead of the Jean Paul Gaultier Classique Cabaret. That one I would save it for the days when I feel like I want to stay a little bit low profile. So that's all for today. Almost coming to the end of the video for this week. So here are all the fragrances that I've worn. These are my perfume rotation for this week. I really enjoyed the sweet. I really enjoyed gourmand in fragrances, and I think I would do another perfume rotation video to take up my beloved purchase over the years of fragrances that I've been keeping in my collection. I would really want to dig into them and try it out one by one again, and find new happiness from trying out, from using them again. I don't want to just keep them in a cupboard. I want to use them. So out of so many fragrances that I've used this week, not so many lah, I mean, it's quite many. So the one that I really like is, I would pick Jean Paul Gaultier Classique Intense, Jean Paul Gaultier Classic Cabaret, Sweet Revenge, and also Chocolate Greedy. For the lotion, I definitely recommend, if you really want to go for some sweet but not too sweet, a little bit fun, a little bit, licoricey thing, other than the regular vanilla lotion, other than a regular rose scented lotion. I recommend you to try out this one. It's quite different. I don't think you can find any lotion of licorice scent that you can buy from drugstore. I really enjoy this one. So that's all from me. I will record my next video soon to to jog my memories on all these fragrances that I have in my collection. So I hope you enjoy what I have recorded in here. I will see you next time. Bye.